So Serena and I were lucky enough to recently go on a vacation, and we actually learned a lot from it. Instead of just resting and relaxing, we learned some things about ourselves, maybe our work life, and us in general that we're going to talk about today. So the first one is about burnout and the signs that we actually needed to take a vacation that maybe we ignored for a little bit too long.
Yes. And to clarify, to begin with, we took vacations separately into different places. So we combined our stories and thoughts afterwards to come up with this list that we thought, if it's not just us going through it, we're certain other people are too.
Yes. Yeah. I think us as Americans and females and high achieving women don't take the vacation as often as we need to, or feel guilty about it when we do. I don't know if you feel the same way, Serena, but it's like, it feels hard to schedule that time.
Yes. Yeah. I know I need one, but the amount of effort to plan to take one and to plan to come back to what's for me when I return is usually what makes it sound daunting and makes a big pause for it happening.
Yeah. It's not only do we have to plan the trip and figure out where we're going to go and where we're going to stay and what we're going to do, but now I have to prep for this time off at work and make sure that there's all these outlines, all the things that need to get accomplished while I'm gone. And does everybody have everything they need? And will people be able to survive without me?
So adding to the burnout is the burnout of planning the trip as well.
And knowing when you come back, if you do happen to ignore your emails like you should, that you're going to have to deal with that all and everything that comes with it afterwards.
Yeah, 100%. I guess let's start with, what are some of the clues for you that you knew it was time to take a vacation?
Probably a couple things. One, I'm getting crankier at work. I'm getting shorter and frustrated. Maybe not just at work, but probably at home. I'm sure Mike understands when I need to go on vacation before I even do. And then like not caring as much about what's going on. That is, to me, a sign of almost extreme burnout. If I'm like, whatever, just do what you're going to do. That is not my personality. That is not normally how I function. And if I start saying that, I'm like, I need to go. I need a break.
First of all, the first point that you made makes me think of I think we both suffer from hangriness. We get angry when we're hungry. So I don't know what the equivalent of that is for vacation. But that also is true for me too. I feel like there's almost like a relentless restlessness, if that makes sense. Like you don't realize that you're restless until you actually step away from everything. Yeah,
and that sometimes you just feel so many emotions that maybe you can't identify because a lot needs to get done. You feel a little overwhelmed. You don't know if you want to leave because it's too much to come back to at the same time too. Like, oh, there's going to be a better time a month from now, or a better time a couple weeks from now, or whatever it looks like. And in the meantime, you know, everybody kind of hates you or maybe you start to hate yourself.
Yeah, I was going to say, I still feel like, generally speaking, maybe we protect our outward appearance, but those closest to us know it for sure.
Yeah. I mean, most people think you're probably just fine and you're keeping it all together, but the people you talk to, like you or my husband or whatever, know, like, she's breaking down.
It's time. Yeah. The ibuprofen is not working anymore. We need something else.
Yep. I don't feel like drinking every day or whatever. Those don't seem to be the advice that I want to do.
Yeah, I think for me, sometimes when I get to that point, it's more about almost like just complete checking out. Like you mentioned how things that you normally care about, you just don't, and you just let them kind of go by the wayside. I think for me too, it's what I do in my quiet time, which, let's be honest, there's not usually a lot of that anyways. But when there is, it's, okay, do I feel like going and tackling that project that I know that I need to do, or am I just going to sit in this chair and veg for a while and doom scroll and watch TV or whatever it may be? And I think the more mindless tasks I do in my quiet time is a key factor for me knowing that, yeah, we need a break.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same way. If I feel like my brain needs a whole shutdown after work versus like doing the things that I enjoy. And that's so true. I think even right before vacation, and maybe even I haven't gotten back into it as much as I should, but I love working out. It makes me a happier person. It makes me a better person. I get a lot of my energies out. And I just wasn't. I was just like sitting on the couch and picking up a book or watching TV or whatever it may be, and just not doing the things that I should or normally would.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think the other thing too for me that's a sign is that even the things I do find joy in, if I do decide to take them on and do them, I don't enjoy them if I'm burnout. It feels like another thing on my plate, another thing on my list that I have to do, even though it could be self-chosen. It just doesn't seem as fun as it normally would if I've mentally got a clear brain there.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It's when you don't get the enjoyment out of life and the things that you normally would, it's time to just take a step back and be like, all right, what's going on? What is really happening? I think those are also signs of depression too. So that's, some people have to be, I feel like they mimic each other oftentimes, like complete burnout and depression. A lot of those things. Yeah. Like I'm just going to sit down and not want to move for hours. That's not healthy.
No, it's not. Not healthy for any part of your well-being.
Oh, yeah. I got to the point where we were like crunch time for this big conference, and I was working on all this messaging and all these things, and I worked multiple days straight, no weekends. And then afterwards, people were like, "Hey, how you doing?" And I flat out just said, "Not good, not good." I don't think I've ever said that at all in my career. And people just laughed. I'm like, I'm not really joking right now, but okay.
I guess another way that this shows up too is the planning for the vacation. Typically, I'm on point, have my thoughts together, maybe I'm doing an Amazon order 2 nights before, but still I'm thinking through the things that I need and making sure everyone's got everything. And this time around, I forgot a handful of things that I normally would have had packed and ready to go. But I also took the stance of, it's okay. If I forget something, I'm just going to buy it while we're there. So I was not only tired of the planning, but also not cognizant of what I should have been doing for the planning. And then just resorted to, it's okay, we'll figure it out. Which, generally speaking, I should do more of that, but I don't. And it did work out. It was fine. It's not like anything fell apart. I made sure we at least had the documentation for traveling, which was a big one. You can't always figure that stuff out, but that was definitely another piece of not being ready for something that I knew I needed to be ready for.
Yeah. Like, even though it was completely fine, and maybe we should do it more often, the it is okay to not be overly prepared for things. It doesn't feel like you, and it feels, and it, like you almost get more anxious about it too. Like, it'll be fine and you can function, but then it makes me anxious about the things that I should be
100%.
having fun about. Yeah.
100%. Okay. So we've talked about the things that were warning signs for us. I guess, what are some of the clarity items now that maybe we can help to make this not feel like such a burden in the future of actually taking the vacation?
So, like, what's our survival guide for actually taking a vacation?
Yeah. Yes, great.
That's a good question.
For me, I was gonna say one thing for me is we as soon as we get back from it, we usually plan the next one. So it's already on the calendar. You have no choice. It's going to be there. You've already got it locked in. You don't have to worry about anybody already having a vacation scheduled at that point because it's far enough in advance. So usually we will plan the next one for a year from when we get back. And that definitely makes it easier when it comes to planning around that of like, well, doesn't matter. I'm going on vacation. It's already been planned. And usually there's a deposit down so that you don't back
You
out of
actually
it
go.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, some of it too is try not to overcomplicate it. I've definitely gone on vacations that I have a giant spreadsheet that's probably a little terrifying of where we're going to be at all of these hours and have all of these things scheduled. And like,
Yes.
that's fun. And that's like they had an adventure vacation, but you need downtime. And especially when you're in this kind of state of like, I am overwhelmed, I'm probably a little burnt out, just don't pack everything in. Have one thing a day maybe that you want to get done or do see. And if you have to make reservations, you have to make reservations. But try to find something or a vacation that maybe you don't have to plan as much for, so your brain can shut off a little bit.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
Yeah, I'm probably not
Prepare
good
to
at
not
that,
plan.
but yeah, prepare to not plan. Or, like do get a what is a travel agent maybe, or there's like online services and stuff that are like, hey, these are the things you should do at these places, and they'll book it for you. My sister and I did that when we went to Australia together. We did not do any planning, which felt way crazy for like two super high achieving women who are uber planned and probably anxious about not being planning, to hand it over to somebody else to be like, hey, these are the things I want to do, figure it out for me. And it was magical.
Yeah, I think the less planning, the more spontaneous I can be, the happier I usually am with it too.
Yeah, 100%. One of the things too, I think I don't even forget it. I don't even realize or remember often is sometimes just taking a day off or two at home, sitting at home and doing the things that you want to do is a vacation if you make sure to turn off, and if you are unavailable. And you don't need to tell people that you're just staying at home or you're not doing anything exciting. Say you're going on vacation and just do it. You don't have to spend any money that way, and maybe you can get people to go home for a little while.
No, it's a really good idea. I think some of my best vacations are ones that are stay vacations, like where you are totally spontaneous. Or maybe you have like a list of, I have 3 things that by the end of the week I want to get done or whatever, and you make sure you do those, but in between that you find some other things that are unexpected and unplanned to do too.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. I think I'm fortunate enough now to be at the point where I can spend money on vacations, but it was not always like that. And like, what can you do to be, I know it sounds really cheesy, but like a tourist in your own town, or, some of those things where you don't have to spend that much money and they're amazing. Driving to the beach, driving to a park, having a picnic. Some of those are like the best memories I've had. And it doesn't really, cost that much except for a day off and actually dedicating to do it.
100%. Which brings us to another thought around what you could do without having to plan, and still have a great time, which is our upcoming women's wellness retreat.
Yeah, let us do the planning for you and just show up.
100%. And we promise not to jam pack the agenda.
Yes, we have tried to do that before, and we realized like maybe that's not relaxing as much as we think it would be.
Yeah, this doesn't sound relaxing anymore. This sounds like I have to be at a place at a certain time every single hour. So yeah, we have taken that opposite kind of direction and have tried to plan a few fun things, and then you choose what you want to do in between.
Yeah. And tried to make it as reasonable as possible so more people can join us, and hopefully just find a group of women that you can, that brings us back to the community side of things, being able to find people that you can be yourself around, you can support each other when you're stressed, all that kind of stuff.
100%. I think finding ways that you can connect with your friends, with other people, whoever it may be, but in a a non-pressure environment. Like it's just, you're just going to have fun. You're just going to relax.
Yeah.
Whatever else happens.
Yeah. And yeah, we all want to like better ourselves, but maybe that's not this retreat. Maybe we just need to take care of ourselves and our mental health right now and just have some fun. So
Yeah,
join us.
Join us August 22nd through the 24th. It's going to be fantastic. Michigan. Yes, at the historic Stacy Mansion, which is got its own history and own fun, but we plan to bring a little bit more to it.
Yes. And it's beautiful. I've been there. You guys are going to be very excited about where we're hosting it.
So if you're experiencing burnout, don't wait. Don't make any excuses. Just take the time, whether it's this weekend with us or another time or just tomorrow. Like, just make the decision that you're going to take some time for you.
Yeah. Do what you need to do to take care of yourself.
Yeah. Nobody wants to be vangry. Yeah. Is that the equivalent of vacation hungry?
Could be.
Anyways.
Making
all right. Yeah. That's what we do. All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining us today.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll see you soon.